Future. Giannis's future in Milwaukee remains very much uncertain. The former MVP has never publicly asked for a trade, but things seem to reach a breaking point this season. You saw it. The Bucks are under 500. Giannis outwardly frustrated with the team's decision to sit him out to close the year. One of the owners, Jimmy Haslam, now says he wants an answer soon.
Just think before the draft is a natural time, right? Because you're going to, if Giannis does play somewhere else, then we ought to get a lot of assets, and that's Giannis' job to do it. If he's here, then you build the team differently. So just want to stress, though, that our relationship with him is very positive.
Okay, so Windman, I come directly to you. He says we want something done here before the draft. This is one of the great drafts in recent NBA memory. It's deep. There's a bunch of really, really good players at the top. So that makes a lot of sense. So what does that mean, Windman?
Let me explain what something means. Giannis Antetokounmpo can sign a contract extension basically that would carry out the rest of his prime years in Milwaukee, and it's a gigantic one. We're talking 4 years, $270 million. He cannot sign that until October. So that's kind of been the timeline. Will Giannis sign, betroth himself to Milwaukee, and put all this trade stuff gone? With Jimmy Haslam, and he was talking at the press conference introducing new coach Taylor Jenkins, and they said yesterday, they told Taylor Jenkins, you're taking this job just so you know Giannis may not be here. So the Bucks are openly saying we could trade him. They want Giannis in the next few weeks to say, I'm signing that extension. I want to be here or not. And so we have a pinch point. No matter what anybody wants to say about anything and double speak and saying one thing out of one side, one thing out of the other, this is Jimmy Haslam coming out and making it clear, drawing a line. And I think the whole organization needed it to happen.
They're handling this a whole lot better than the Pittsburgh Steelers are waiting on Aaron Rodgers. It's like, where's the ransom note? Okay, so Jimmy Haslam and the Bucks, that franchise is handling this a lot better. We're not going to just sit around and wait for Giannis, who's a hell of a lot more relevant as a ball player right now than Aaron Rodgers is, as Pittsburgh continues to wait and wait and wait and wait. No, you can't do that. Milwaukee has to figure out something. We've already got trade proposals on the table from the last couple of days.
Give me one. Let me hear the trade.
Well, we talked about, it was Jay Will who talked about Jaylen Brown being,
Jaylen Brown for Giannis. There'd have to be probably some pieces in there, and I don't know where the money fits in. Windy probably does. Do we like it?
But the Milwaukee thing, it's a win for Milwaukee. But keep in mind, Giannis now with that contract extension that he holds, that's the sledgehammer now. And he can decide where he wants to go based off of that. Because there are a lot of teams that have high draft picks that the Bucks would love to get those, and he's saying, I don't want to go there, I won't sign the extension. So he's got to agree to wherever it ends up going, and that's what's also going to make this a lot harder to do.
This is tricky for me, Greeny, because Giannis is a force, and when you look at his regular season numbers, he's fantastic. But we're now going on, our fifth postseason that he hasn't necessarily been available when it matters?
Since they won it all, yeah.
I get it, but I don't, and I understand why the theoretical Brown thing, you would see it as a win for Milwaukee, but Brown also just walked back those comments as of yesterday in terms of wanting to stay in Boston. It's got to be a position where Giannis doesn't have to be the guy on his own. He just needs to be the last piece.
Finish it up, Windy. If the way this thing goes, go ahead.
Two pieces of information that are going to be available now for the Bucks that weren't available in February when they last had talks. Number one, the lottery is Sunday. They're going to know who has high picks, what teams who might have high picks might have interest in Giannis. That's very important for a possible trade. Secondly, there's going to be new tanking rules, and that's going to really go against tanking. The Milwaukee Bucks can't look at a Giannis trade and think that they're going to tank their way to a high pick. That's going to be over. So they're going to want it probably, if they're going to trade him, and Giannis could just say, I want to extend, and this goes away. But if they're going to trade him, they need to trade him for players who can help him right now.
Yes.
Such excellent insight from the Windman every time we get to it. So much to watch here. We've got Game 3 between the Lakers and back on Get Up. So earlier this morning, I had a Throwback Thursday. I told you this is the anniversary of the Allen Iverson practice rant. And then I told you I have an even better one. An even better Throwback Thursday. 1989, this day. Roll the tape.
He looks, he gives to Jordan. Jordan to the circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won. Jordan beat him at the buzzer with a jump shot in the circle, and Chicago has knocked off the Cavs 101 to 100.
Michael Wilbon, as iconic a moment today, the anniversary of the shot.
You could draw a straight line from Jordan winning the national championship in '82 with a shot against Georgetown. Sorry, Monica.
I get it.
Straight to the Larry Bird, the 63-point in the Garden, Boston Garden game that they lost to this game. The Bulls had put themselves in this position by giving away the previous game in the best of 5 years. And then they have to go to Cleveland and win this. And Elo scores a layup.
Yep, with
3 seconds left. And you think, oh my God, the Bulls are going to lose this again. They're going to blow this series. And Jordan comes up with that shot. And after that,
I've often said you could actually divide basketball, that history of basketball, into the moments before that and after that.
That's
because
like
that
point.
moment is when Michael Jordan went from being this dynamic, unstoppable, incredible offensive force to being not just the most entertaining player in the NBA, but the best player in the NBA. He took that away from Magic and Larry in that moment.
It is. That's the start of it. And they went on to lose to the Pistons. That was the second time. They lost to the Pistons 3 straight times. Glad Vinny Goodwill isn't here today.
They beat the Knicks first. They won that series. They beat the Knicks
and then lost to Detroit. And then lost to them the next year again in 7. But there's no doubt about what you're saying about Jordan.
Just quickly, I'm looking at Windy's face. Windy is a kid from Akron, Ohio. I have a
was
feeling
11
you had
years
a
old.
different reaction.
I was 11 years old. It was a Sunday afternoon. We believed that Cavs team was going to be, it was the best Cavs team in their history. And by the way, they couldn't get past them. They lost 2 more times to them. So, yeah.
And Magic could pronounce him the team
go
in
ahead,
the 90s.
Chicago guys. Go ahead and wax poetic. But that wasn't the
We're going to savor that one, Wendy. I'm sorry. We're not giving that one up.
The 3 seconds left in the huddle. What are we going to do with Jordan? I don't know. How about we put Elo
Well,
on?
Ron Harper wanted to guard him.
Yeah.
His future teammate wasn't his teammate then. And Ron Harper was a great player before that knee injuries.
So today, the anniversary of both the Iverson rant and Michael Jordan, the shot. Meanwhile, from the past,
because I got you here, I got to get your perspective on something because, Celtics president of operations Brad Stevens said this week that there is no rift with Jaylen Brown, despite Brown's good friend Tracy McGrady, who says that there is some frustration there. Is too much being made out of this, you think?
Probably. I mean, Brad Stevens is a guy who just seems to have a sober assessment of just about everything in his time, whether it was college basketball or the NBA. And so too much can be made of it. But we know, Brian, this is a league where feelings get hurt and superstars who are due to make $60, $70 million say, I want out. And it all results from what originally might have been too much being made of. That's the nature of today's NBA. And so, rift and sort of an uneasy relationship are very different. I mean, you don't have to go as far as saying there's a rift to wonder if these two want to play together, to wonder if the Boston Celtics want to pay 2 great wing players, $600 million upcoming. And that's essentially what they have to do. Or might they seek another solution? Might one of those guys say, you know what, no, it's not a rift, but we might want to try plan B. We see that a lot in the NBA. It wouldn't be unprecedented. So I think, both things can be true, but this is going to bear watching, particularly now that the Celtics are, eliminated, and we're going to be getting into the hot stove portion of the NBA program for everybody who's not still eligible in the playoffs, and the Celtics agenda is chief among those items.
That's why he's the Hall of Famer. You can see more of Mike. PTI, bottom of the hour. Thank you, Wilbon.
Thanks.